Here's something that sounds backwards. Setting a higher ROAS target can get you fewer sales. Not lower profit, fewer sales. Less spend, fewer impressions, the whole campaign just stalls out. And I see it constantly. Smart, ambitious people choking their own campaigns by aiming too high. I'm Andrey. I've managed Google Ads for e-commerce brands since 2017. Solo, done for you. Smart bidding targets are the single most common thing I have to walk back when I take over an account. People crank tROAS way past what the account has actually hit, thinking it's a profit dial. It's not. It's a constraint the algorithm has to obey. So, in the next few minutes, what actually happens when your target is too high, why Google does it, the exact step-by-step way to raise targets without stalling, and the conversion thresholds that decide whether tROAS will even work for you. There's one account I'll keep coming back to, a campaign a previous manager pushed way past what it had ever proven and watched it stall. We'll resolve what should have happened by the end. So, you set the target high to be ambitious. Here's what Google does with that number, and it's not what you'd hope. You're telling Google, don't enter any auction you don't predict will clear this bar. Set that bar above what the account has ever proven, and the algorithm finds almost nothing it's confident enough to bid on. So it sits out. Delivery throttles, impressions collapse, and the campaign never gets the conversion volume it needs to learn. It's obeying you, that's the whole problem. And this isn't theoretical. When I took over one account, I pulled its change history, a Performance Max feed-only new arrivals campaign running comfortably around 2.2 to 2.8x ROAS. On June 11th, the previous manager did exactly what I just described. In a single move, jumped the target from 200 all the way to 300, above anything that campaign had proven. The result was textbook. Daily spend collapsed from roughly $55 a day to about $10. And the ROAS didn't climb to 300, it fell to around 190. Higher target, less spend, and a worse return. That's a trap in one screenshot. So if this is so predictable, why do so many good operators keep doing it? Because the target feels like the right lever to pull. It happens because the target looks like a profit setting, and it isn't. Owners think, I want a 5x return, so I'll set the target to 500. But the number doesn't pull performance up. It filters out everything the algorithm can't confidently reach. Your ambition belongs in a roadmap, not in a setting the algorithm reacts literally. And there is a sneakier version of the same mistake, changing the target too often. I see this one constantly. On the same campaign, the previous manager changed the target 13 times in about 9 months. A new target roughly every 3 weeks, several of them lasting under 2 weeks before the next change. When I lined up the changes up against the results, there was no clean higher target, higher ROAS relationship at all. What predicted performance was whether the campaign had enough volume to learn, not the number in the box. Every time you change the target, the campaign re-enters the learning phase, where performance is volatile and usually worse than steady state. So people see the wobble, panic, and tweak again, which restarts learning, which creates more wobble. Adjust it weekly and the campaign never stabilizes. It lives in permanent learning mode. Most my bidding is erratic problems are really someone keeps poking it problems. This campaign got poked 13 times. Okay, so if you can't just set the target you want and you can't keep nudging it, how do you actually raise performance over time? There's a method, and it's boring on purpose. The fix isn't a secret setting, it's a tempo. Start where you are, prove it, then climb in small steps with patience between each one. Step 1. Start at or below your proven number, not your dream number. So if you're at 300 ROAS, set the target to 300, your true historical average, or even slightly lower. Now the algorithm has a bar it can actually clear, so it keeps delivering and keeps feeding on conversion data instead of starving. Step 2. Once it's stable, climb in 15 to 20% increments, not a leap. Raise it, then leave it alone for 3 to 4 weeks so it can exit learning and settle. No more than one change per cycle. The patience is the actual skill here. And here's the proof that small steps work. From the same campaign's history, on one of the rare occasions it was done right. On April 10th, the target was nudged in a single increment from 150 to 175 and held. Spend dropped about 40%, but ROAS climbed from roughly 195 to 2.80, and total conversion value actually went up, not down eventually. A small patient step earned more revenue for less spend. The 100-point leap to 300 did the opposite. Step 3. Judge the steady state, not the learning wobble. Right after a change, performance gets noisy. That's expected, not a failure. Don't react to the first few days. Wait for it to settle, read the result, then decide whether to push again or hold. That cadence works, but only if your account actually has enough data for smart bidding to learn from. So, before you touch a single target, check this. tROAS needs at least roughly 30 conversions over 30 days, but it performs best with far more. I think 100 or more. Accounts under about 30 to 50 conversions a month, especially with highly variable order values, often see erratic performance, no matter how carefully you set the target. Below that, you're better off with a different strategy or consolidating campaigns to pool the data. Back to that campaign. Running 2.5x at 200 target, yanked to 300 in one jump, and sales falling. The fix wasn't ambition, it was setting the target back to what it had proven, then climbing to 15 to 20% at a time. Its best, steadiest stretch came from leaving a sensible target alone for over a month. The hard part was never the setting, it's the patience. If your campaigns have stalled, drop a comment with your monthly conversion count and I'll tell you whether it's your target, your tempo, or your data. Subscribe for more unhyped operator stuff, and if you're spending over 10K a month and want a second set of eyes, there's a link below. Thank you and see you in the next one.